Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Geek Cool podcast, where we talk about comic book, sometimes anime news from the small and big screen from the past week. I'm your host, Gershon. This is episode 14, and with that intro out the way, let's dive in, guys. So, first up on the small screen, we got a lot of news that happened this week, so it might be a longer show, so be prepared for that. But the first thing we got, NBC is considering bringing back Sliders. If you don't know Sliders, it was an NBC show back in the, is it 90s? Maybe 80s. I think 90s, where you had these people that created this device that allowed them to transport to parallel Earths, which there was a unlimited amount of, and they had got stuck on. Well, they didn't get stuck, but they had to do whatever they could on that Earth in a certain time frame to be able to get to the next slide. That's why it's called Sliders. I like the show. It's a really good show. But CBS is thinking about bringing the show back. The biggest obstacle they have right now is that they don't know who owns the rights to the show. They don't know if they own the rights or Fox or Sci-Fi, because this show was on Sci-Fi. The show was on Fox, but I think it was produced by NBC, but they're not sure who owns the rights right now. So if you're a fan of that classic show, which I was until like the third season, it started to get weird for me. But yeah, they're thinking about bringing it back, so that's a positive. I would like to see, but they're not even sure if they're going to do a reboot or if they're going to continue the story. I would like to see the next generation of Sliders. That's what I would like to see. Me, myself. Hit me up. Let me know what you guys think. In other news, they have cast... I didn't know he had this many kids. For the Titans Season 2, they cast Jericho, who is apparently Deathstroke's son. So he has a son and a daughter. I thought he just had a daughter, but I'm not 100% on all my comic book characters. Sometimes I mess up. But they cast Jericho, and the person they cast, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. I'm sorry. Sheila, I just pronounced it right earlier, but I'm messing up. Sheila Man. So Jericho is sometimes a bad guy, but sometimes a good guy. He is apparently Deathstroke. I don't know why I'm pronouncing that wrong. He's apparently Deathstroke's son. He has the power to control people. When he looks at them, he can control them. But he's also mute. So the person they cast for this role, is a deaf person. So two shades there. It also is a transgenders person. So earlier in Jericho's history, they never talked about his sexuality, but in his new like 52, I think, or new comic book characterization of him, they said he was bisexual. I don't know if that has anything to do with them casting a transgender person in the role, but people might get upset for, people are just weird. Times are changing. Just grow, people. People want to be who they are. Just let them be who they are, as long as it's not affecting you. But yeah, they cast Jericho, actor for Jericho, and they're moving right along. Let me know if you knew Dark Deathstroke had a son and a daughter. I knew he had a daughter. I didn't know he had a son. How many kids does this guy have? But yeah, that's coming in season 2. In other news, some set photos leaked from The Witcher, and you see Henry Cavill, which everybody wanted to see, besides that one kind of promo they did with him walking out of the shade with the white hair. You see him in costume kind of running down a hill. It's kind of far away, so you can't see much, so it's not that great of a photo. But people are seem to be excited to see pictures of him in costume. I don't know. I'm still going to wait for a trailer. I've never played this game, so I don't know anything about that world. But being Henry Cavill was really set on playing this character, I got to give it a chance to see what he does. He is a decent actor. I like his Superman in Justice League, but We don't get to see that Superman. I don't even know if we're going to see Henry Cavill Superman anymore. So that's going to be interesting. In other news, Netflix released a clip of their new series coming, or a rebooted series coming to their platform, Ultraman. They showed him transforming. So it was a really cool clip. I watched the clip. It looked really cool. He's fighting some other kind of metal robot guy, or guy in a suit maybe. It looks cool, and I'm kind of interested in it. It's supposed to come out in April, on April 1st. So right around the corner, it should be out soon. So hopefully I'm going to check that out, see how Netflix is getting a lot of anime recently. We have other news about them. We'll get to it. But I don't remember Ultraman. I remember there was like a live action Ultraman. I can't remember if there's a cartoon Ultraman. I remember the live action Ultraman. I remember that. But I'm also mixing that up with the Teenage Tattoo Warriors. If anybody's heard of that. I know people have heard of that. Hit me up if you heard of that. I watched that show too. But I keep getting those mixed up. And there was another guy that went into like computers. I think that's part of Ultraman, but I'm not 100% sure. Hit me up, let me know. Hit me up at Black Geek Cool on Twitter, or Black Geek Cool Podcast at Gmail. Drop me an email, let me know if you remember any of these shows, and remind me which ones are which. But they were really good shows. They were fun. They were 90 shows, so they were enjoyable. Also, other news: The Dark Tower has cast their gunslinger, Roland the Gunslinger. I know it's not his name, but they've cast him. The show is supposed to be on Amazon Prime. They cast Sam Strike. I don't know who that guy is. So they cast him in the lead role, and they say the series is supposed to be more faithful to the book. So how the movie wasn't so faithful, I didn't see it. I heard it was terrible, so I was like, what's the point of seeing it? How that wasn't so faithful to the book, they say their series is going to be way more faithful to the book and follow Roland through flashbacks as he was a kid. So that would be very interesting for people that read the book, that know the book, and wanted to see a better adaptation of the book. This series might definitely be for you. So take a look for it. It's supposed to be on Amazon Prime. I'm assuming in like another year, since they just cast dude. They got to shoot and all that good stuff. So I say about a year it should be out. I think 2020 it should be out by then. Also other news in the small screen. Jon Favreau shared a picture on his Instagram of Taika Waititi in a sound booth with a picture of IG-88. And Taika Waititi seemed like he was doing voice work, so he's gonna be in Jon Favreau's Star Wars series that's on Disney Plus, and the way he making it seem like Taika Waititi is gonna be the voice of IG-88, android. I just know because they said it on there. I don't remember this android I think he's in The Empire Strikes Back, if I recall. Yeah, I think so. But I don't remember the android specifically, but Taika Waititi is supposed to play in it, and it's supposed to be for Jon Favreau's The Mandarin, not The Mandarin. I just blanked on the name. Give me a second, maybe I remember it. I don't think I'm gonna remember it. The Mandalorian, there we go. His show The Mandalorian that's gonna be on Disney Plus. So Taika Waititi's gonna be in it, and he's gonna be a voice of a droid. So sounds cool. Definitely gonna check that out. Jon Favreau makes awesome stuff. Like, let's be honest. And a Star Wars series not focused on Luke Skywalker and something new in the Star Wars universe could be really good. Like, that's what we've been looking for. I know a lot of people love Skywalkers and all that, but there's such a big universe. You want to see more of it, and want to see more stories within that universe. So, in other news, this is gonna be interesting. So, DCUverse is gonna be free for a day, only one day, to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Batman. So, I believe that day is supposed to be on the 29th, starting midnight Eastern Standard Time until the 30th. So, set your clocks, get ready. if you want to check out the DC Uverse app and binge watch Titans and Doom Patrol and Young Justice, which I really got to get back to Young Justice. I probably should finish Titans too, but I don't know. Doom Patrol looks weird. I haven't heard really good things about it, I'm going to be honest. But I do want to finish Young Justice. So on March 29th, set your clock, wake up at midnight Eastern Standard Time, and you can binge watch all their shows just to give you a kind of idea what they have. And I guess if you become a new member, then it's supposed to be like 89 cents or 87 cents for that first month, and then it goes back to $7.99 every other month. So if you're looking for a good deal, there you go. I might even take up that chance to get that deal and then just cancel. But that's just me. Don't do what I do. Do what you do. But then again, gotta make a buck. For Supernatural fans, if you haven't heard, season 15 will be the last season for the show. It's going to be the final season. They're calling it quits after season 15. This show has been going on a long time. I've watched like a couple episodes here and there. Never got into it. But it's got a big following. So clearly they're doing something good over there. But yeah, check it out. Their last season is going to be season 15. That's another show for the I think that's on the CW. Yeah, I believe that's on the CW. So CW is losing Supernatural and Arrow. Ooh, that's a lot. But they're getting a lot of spinoff shows. That Riverdale has a spinoff show. I forget what it's called. What is that show called? I know they're getting a spinoff. But maybe Supernatural will get a spinoff. Most likely they'll get a spinoff. One of the side characters they'll give a show to and see how that works. Being such as a popular series, I can see that happening. But in other news, Crunchyroll is increasing the subscription price, which is always a good or a bad thing. It could be either one. Netflix did that when they increased their subscription price, but I think that was in response to knowing that Disney, DC, Warner Brothers, I believe AT&T, and Apple as well, all of those places are trying to get into the streaming game as well. Netflix, I can see them increase their price before they got in there so they can kind of get as much money as possible before all these new streaming services come out. But Crunchyroll is increasing their subscription. And even though in the last couple of months they've lost Funimation, they separated from Funimation. They say they're doing this to help them be able to secure more shows, being that shows are getting more expensive and the market is getting more vast. Because, like I said earlier, Netflix is getting into the anime game. You got Netflix, you still have Funimation, who's also connected to Hulu, and Amazon Plus. Amazon Prime is also doing anime. So there's a lot of different avenues for anime to sell their streaming rights to. So Crunchyroll is trying to make a little more money so they can buy some of them shows and keep giving you quality content. I don't use Crunchyroll. I'm a Funimation guy, but that's just me. You use what you use. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you use to watch your anime on. Don't let me know if you're using illegal services, but just say, hey, I watch my anime. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble out there. And I ain't promoting piracy. Don't do that. Buy some of these services. Not all of them because they suck. But that's what's going on with Crunchyroll. So if you're a Crunchyroll member, I think it's going from $6.95 to $7.99. Yeah, it's going to affect you. If you're a new member, it's going to affect you right away. If you're an old member, they say it's going to take 3 months before it affects you. So you got some time. So get your watch in. Unless you want to cancel your subscription and go somewhere else, you know what to do now. And other news, I'm going to save that for big screen because technically it's big screen. So we're going to go to the next thing. I'm going to pronounce this known Neogenesis Evangelion. I always pronounce it wrong. It's supposed to be coming to Netflix June 21st, but the only thing is, it sounds like they're redubbing it and they're not using the original cast. And the original cast actually spoke up about this. Was like they never seemed to be intended on asking us to even come back to redub stuff or to re-portray our characters, which sucks. But if you're a fan of that series, you get to watch it on Netflix. If you're a really big fan of the series, you get to not watch it on Netflix because you're upset that they didn't bring the old cast back. So Faust, I don't know which one you are, but let me know if you're gonna watch it or not. It's gonna be on Netflix. Let me know. I think that's kind of mean they didn't bring them back though. That kind of sucks. They could have brought them back. But in other news, the Runaways have officially got greenlit for a season 3. I don't know who's watching this show because I stopped watching it after 4 episodes, but apparently it's found an audience and it's doing really well. So maybe I need to finish that first season at least to get a better idea of the show. Yeah, they're getting a third season, so that's always great for a show to continue and fans to continue watching and enjoying that show. Also, I think some stuff on The Walking Dead they showed. I think they gave a kind of synopsis of how Michonne dies, which is, I know she's supposed to be leaving the show this season. I did see a clip of her killing like a whole bunch of kids. They're making a big deal. You don't actually see her kill the kids. You just know she kills the kids. So maybe that's just me. And if you haven't, I think that shows that episode has already been out. And that episode's not out. Sorry, I just spoiled that for you. I'm sorry. But what was I gonna say? I kind of blanked out. I was gonna say something. Oh, I checked out of that show in like season 7. Or not even, I don't think I made it through all of season 6 actually. It was a really good show, but then it just started getting weird, so I had to let it go. I'm sorry. I went back to the comic books. The comic books are really good. Let me know if you're a fan of Walking Dead. Have you actually read the comic books? Are you just a fan of the show? Because I was a fan of the show, then it made me read the comic books. Then I became a bigger fan of the comic books. The comic books are way more grittier and just they don't hesitate to kill people. It's masterful on the comic books. Yeah, but yeah, that's all the news I have for the small screen. As always, you can let me know if I missed something you wanted me to talk about, want to give me my opinion on that I didn't. Always hit me up at Black Geek Cool on Twitter or hit me up at Black Geek Cool Podcast at Gmail. Please let me know. I missed stuff sometime, and it was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of news. There's some stuff I saw that I didn't talk about, some Gotham stuff, but I don't know if people are into Gotham as much, being this is about to be the last season. Hit me up if you want me to talk about some Gotham stuff. I'll talk about it in the next episode. Yeah, so that's all the news for the small screen. So let's get into the news for the big screen. Alright, so big screen news. It is rumored that the Batman, the movie that, I forgot his name. I just blanked on his name. I had his name. So Ben Affleck was supposed to be directing this. They had another guy who was a director of the Planet of the Apes movies. Well, at least 2 of the Planet of the Apes movies. And I forgot his name. Blanking on it right now. I'll probably remember halfway through. But a rumor is that this movie is supposed to be set in the 90s. Which makes, if it is set in the 90s, that makes it line up with Ben Affleck's Batman in Justice League. Age-wise, I guess. So that'd be interesting. But DC is really just all over the place with their movies now. I'm not sure what they're doing. I guess I get it, they were trying to go outside of their box and do Elseworld stories and whatnot, but it's just getting weird now. Just all set in different decades. They're definitely throwing out the whole cohesive universe thing anymore. They're not trying to be a whole universe. Some of them work with this, some of them work with that. I think they're losing a lot of ground with that, but maybe this is a way for them to rebuild and do something where they can bring all the universes together. Like, oh, they could be doing that. So if they're doing this, if they're doing like Infinite Crisis or Crisis Infinite, or I forget the name of the comic book, when they kind of did something that messes up the multiverses. If they're working towards that, that would be smart. I just don't think DC is smart enough to do that. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying they don't realize what they have, which would suck. Also, in other news for DC, what's his name? Kevin, the CEO of Warner Brothers, Kevin, I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong, bro. Tsujihara. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably Kevin Tsujihara. Actually stepped down as a CEO because he got into a little bit of trouble. My man's, I guess he had a marital affair, and the chick he was sleeping with, he was helping her get like roles in movies, his movies, Warner Brothers movies, and somehow they finally got word of it, and they're like, hey, we know you've been doing this. And she kind of was just using him to get ahead too, so I feel bad for him. But he was cheating, so I don't feel that bad. But he was like, look, I'm not gonna fight you on it. I'm gonna step down and let y'all do y'all thing. I did what I did, it was wrong, blah blah blah. But he had been putting her in like 2 or 3 movies throughout the years, and it's finally caught up. But he stepped down, so I don't know if that's gonna be a big blow for DC, or at least Warner Brothers, because man, that's a really bad press. But it is what it is. Yeah, DC, every time you get a win, something happens. But in other news, My Hero Academia is working on their second movie. Apparently they're working on, the first one did so well, they want to put another movie in theaters, so they're developing a second movie, and they're trying to get it out 2019, late 2019 or early 2020. So I still haven't seen the movie. I gotta see it. I'm gonna try to watch it this weekend. Let me know if it's good. I heard it's really good. I heard it's better than the Super Brawly movie. That's basically just a remake with better visuals. But I heard the My Hero Academia movie is better than the Super Brawly movie. Hit me up. Let me know which one you like best. In other news, I guess they finally came out with the slate of 7 Marvel movies that are coming after Infinity War. Of course, we know Spider-Man Far From Home is one of them. We already kind of know that. But the other 6 are not too surprising, but one has surprised me. Well, nah, not that surprising. But okay, so the other movies are, they're making a Black Widow movie, they're making an Eternals movie, they're making Black Panther 2. I don't know why it's taking that long, but I guess with Endgame they got to follow that story. No problem. Doctor Strange 2 is coming. Shang-Chi, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. He's got a solo movie coming. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is supposed to not be coming or even start shooting until 2021. So that one's not going to come until probably 2022. So that's a long time from now. Yeah. So those are the 7 movies that are supposed to be coming after Endgame. So after Endgame, this is, I believe, how it works with Marvel. After their Avenger movie, they go into the next phase. So after Avengers 1, they went into phase 2. So after Endgame, we'll be going to the phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is amazing. It's astonishing what they're doing with this. No other movie studio has done what Marvel has done, and it's amazing. I'm really trying to see how long this run can go, because like there seems like there's no end in sight. They could do this for a long time. They can reboot Iron Man. If they do it right, they can reboot Iron Man. They can reboot Captain America. and kind of start those stories over, like in the comic books where they go back to print number 1. They could do that if they do it right. Oh my God. It could be amazing. This could be like an unprecedented run in a studio's history. I'm really surprised they've gotten this far. This is amazing. But in other news, Dune actually start filming. So there's been I think it was like one set photo. I didn't get to see that photo. I had to go through too many clicks, and I was scared I was going to get a virus. But Dune is start filming. So Michael, your movie's coming soon. Get ready. So they're filming. I'm very interested to see. Like, I've been talking to my friend about Dune. He's been telling me the story of Dune, and it's very complex, but very interesting. So I'm trying to see how they're going to do a movie of that. And clearly they're trying to make a cinematic universe of this, because this can't be done in one movie. And it's just going to be interesting to see if they can pull this off, honestly. In other news, they've cast this lady for Black Widow movie, the co-star with Scarlett Johansson. Her name is Felicity Pug. That's a weird last name. But they cast her to be a co-star in the Black Widow movie. So it looks like they're... Oh, and also... the main villain for the Black Widow movie is supposed to be Taskmaster, which I think is a very good villain for Black Widow, being that he's not like a super powered villain, but he is a good villain. He's not easily beaten, even by people with superpowers, being that his ability is to be able to mimic your movements, your fighting style. That is very interesting for him to go against Black Widow. And I would like to see how that worked in this MCU universe. Also like that they're bringing other villains in, the ones that you don't necessarily see all the time. Like, you've seen Taskmaster in some of the cartoons, because the cartoons usually go deep into the vault of characters. But to see him in live action is going to be interesting. I'm still hoping they make a Moonlight movie. Like, I thought they were gonna do a Netflix series, but now that Disney Plus has this service, and it seems they're gonna do a little darker. They're gonna do a little darker. Maybe it could find its way on there. But that's my little rant about that. In other news, the Disney Fox merger is complete, and I did see this this kind of Fox promo where they were talking about how Empire and a lot of their shows talking about how there's change coming, there's a new company, there's a new way of the future. This is going to be a moment in history where two great things combine to make one, blah blah. This just kind of saying like, yeah, we know this merger has happened, but we're still here and we're going to move forward and we're going to get better. So that was kind of weird, but it's an end of an era. Fox is gonna be gone. So I don't know how Disney's gonna continue with Fox, if they're gonna keep the name Fox and just have the shows there, or how they're gonna do it. But it's gonna be real interesting. It's just weird. I don't know. It feels a little weird, but it's nice to know that X-Men. Oh, that's another thing. They said X-Men won't have a film until maybe like 2021. Won't be introduced until at least the Marvel Cinematic Universe until 2021, which I think that might change in the next 2021 is not that far off, to be honest, and they already got a big slate, so I can see that happen. I can see that them trying to bang out a script, make sure it's right for the introduction, being that Marvel Cinematic Universe is already so deep. I can see that happening. Let me know if you are okay with that. Do you want to see it wait that long, or you want to see the X-Men and Fantastic Four Ghost Rider, you want to see them get in there right away. Like, you want to see them immediately right away. And Deadpool, you definitely want to see Deadpool in there. Like, honestly, it'd be really cool if Deadpool came in at Endgame, if he had some kind of cameo in Endgame. And speaking of Endgame, apparently the official runtime for Endgame is going to be 3 hours, which I'm like, okay, you can't make it 4 hours? Let's do 4 hours. I'm good with 4 hours. But it's going to be 3 hours, and I'm good with that. Like, I know some people was like, 3 hours? That seems a little... I'm good. Y'all got a lot of story to tell. Y'all got a lot of stuff that y'all done did. Y'all need to explain to me how this is going to work and what y'all about to do. Oh, and other things, of course, there's been some more toy leaks for Spider-Man Far From Home. I guess one of the toy leaks show who the real main villain is. So I didn't look at the toy leak. You can go ahead and look at that toy leak and figure out what they're showing. I didn't look at it because I kind of want to be surprised a little bit. But yeah, there's another toy leak. When will they get these toys under control? Yes, we love the toys. We want your toys, but can you just hold on to not show people the toys? You can have them made, but you have to show everybody. Goodness, messing up my movies with your toy showing selves. Anyway, so in other big screen news, apparently they're rebooting the Toxic Avenger. If you don't know who this guy is, it was an 80s movie. I think he had a cartoon too. Yeah, he had a cartoon where this guy fell into some toxic sludge, got all disfigured and weird looking, but then became a superhero. This is the 80s where tomatoes were killer and gremlins ran the world. And people use packs and shot ghosts. But it was a good show. It was a good movie and a good cartoon too. It was a weird cartoon, but it was good. So they're remaking that. They're rebooting that. They got I forget what he wrote on. I forgot what he wrote on, but he's writing and directed. His name is Marco Blair. I can't remember. I just read what he was on. Hit me up. Let me know if you know what he was on. Or maybe I should Google it. No, I'm not going to Google it. We're almost done with this podcast. This is bad. I know. We're getting better at this, though, guys. Don't worry. I'm terrible with names. You guys know I'm terrible with names. And remembering stuff sometimes. But, yeah, they're making Toxic Avenger. Let me know if you're excited about this. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of excited. I would like to see a retelling of this story. It'd be very interesting how they do it. Because... I would love to see it. It's a lot of old movies I would like to see redone now with our technology and the abilities we have to make movies and new stories we could tell with those movies. Very interesting. As long as it's not just a cash grab and they just trying to throw something out there, if they really put something in there, that'd be great. And other news, there's rumor that Black Adam's movie will come out. Let me re-say that. So, Black Adam's solo movie will come out well before the next Shazam movie. So, Shazam is coming out in like 2 weeks, I believe, a week and a half. I got to see it early. Hopefully, my review will be up in like another day. Probably on Wednesday. This comes out Tuesday. My review probably will be up Wednesday. I'll probably record it after this and then post it up on Wednesday. But that's just me telling you about stuff that's coming in the future. But Black Adam's solo movie is supposed to be coming before Shazam 2, I guess. Which doesn't make sense, but it kind of makes sense because you got The Rock as Black Adam, so you want to really show him off. But you want to see Black Adam Shazam fight. That's really what you're going for. But apparently they feel differently. Once again, DC doing weird stuff. But if they're working towards making a multiverse movie to combine all the universe, that would be really cool. Then you got my money again, DC. All my money. On the last bit of news, Captain Marvel has hit 900 million worldwide. Yes, This movie is so close to making $1 billion. It is ridiculous. It is. Marvel is just full of so much wind. Goodness. I did not expect this movie to do this well. I don't really understand how it's doing this well, but kudos to it for doing this well. This means it's definitely going to get a sequel. This means she's definitely going to be around for a while. And this means Marvel's going to definitely continue making movies and breaking records ridiculously. It's just amazing. So Captain Marvel is killing it out there in the box office. And all the haters are just really upset. Like, I'm not a hater. Like I said, the movie's good. I had fun with it. Is it the best thing ever? God, no. Is it the worst thing ever? No. That's Thor the Dark World. That's Thor the Dark World. We can all say that. Let's not lie to ourselves. That was a terrible movie. Most of us fell asleep against it. But Captain Marvel clearly shows there is a place for female superheroes as stars. So come on, Marvel, do it some more. You guys took way too long to do a Black Widow movie. So when it does come out, people are going to be like, oh, you just did it because we kept complaining about it. Get on top of this. Now we need a black female superhero. Do it, Marvel. You can do it. DC was supposed to do it with Vixen. That would have been great. But they messed up there. And they were supposed to do it with, weren't they supposed to beat you guys? No, they weren't supposed to beat you guys with Cyborg. But apparently his movie's not getting made either. I don't know if I talked about that last week, but Cyborg's movie's not being made. That got put on the back burner for good. So that's sad to say. Jesus, that would have been very interesting. I've been really itching. Dude that played Black Cyborg. Dude that played Cyborg in Justice League. He did a really good job, and I was really interested in the way he took his character of Cyborg, and I was really interested in seeing a movie with him. Like, I would have been okay with it been an origin movie too. I've been totally fine with that. But now we're not going to see that. I don't even know if we're still on the edge of seeing Flash. I don't know if that's going to happen. Oh, Jesus, DC. Every time. You make me sad. But yeah, that's all. Oh, well, we had a couple big trailers come out. Hopefully I can do reactions to them because I haven't watched them. John Wick 3, I'm not going to do a reaction to that because I didn't watch the John Wick series. I watched the first one, thought it was okay. I haven't watched the second one. I liked Equalizer better, but the Equalizer 2 really sucked. Wasn't really good. But John Wick is soaring. But John Wick 3 got a trailer. Toy Story 4 got a trailer. I'm going to watch that hopefully tonight or tomorrow. What else got a trailer? Oh, I just blanked. Oh, that's what it is. Diego. Is it Diego? No, Dora. Dora the Explorer. She has a trailer. So you remember that it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somebody put out a Dora the Explorer trailer, her all grown up, kicking butt. It looked really weird and gritty. For some reason, everybody was like, yes, we want this. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted it too. It looked cool. They finally got around to it and made a live action Dora movie. It's called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Terrible title. It's clearly stolen from old movies. Could have been with a bit. Why didn't you just call it Dora the Explorer? Right there. There's your title. Name recognition. Come on. But Dora the Explorer has a trailer, and I'm going to watch that and do a live reaction to that once I get a chance. I haven't watched it yet, so don't say anything about it. Well, I'm going to watch it tonight, so I don't care if you say anything about it. But I heard that, what's his name? Oh, I blanked out. Like the guy who plays in the movie Machete, I forget his name. He's a great actor. He's in a lot of stuff. He's supposed to be playing Boots. He's supposed to be playing the voice of Boots. So that's going to be interesting. But that's it for big screen news. As always, hit me up if I missed something you guys wanted me to talk about. I wanted to hear my opinions about. Always hit me up at Black Geek Cool on Twitter or Black Geek Cool Podcast at Gmail on my email. Let me know if there's something else you wanted me to talk about that I missed in big screen news, so movies, etc. And just let me know. I'm only one guy. I miss stuff sometimes. You know how it is. And there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of news happening right now. But so let's move on to the part of the show where I say thank you to people, people that have either supported me or showed me some love. And the first one I want to say thanks to is my cousin Darius. It's his birthday today. Technically, it was yesterday. He turned 31. Happy birthday, Darius. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Sorry I messed up last week and didn't put it out when I was supposed to, so you get your gym workout while you listen to it. But I got you this time, bro. And happy birthday. Hope you had a good day. Don't get too drunk, but have some fun. I also want to say thanks to a couple people on Instagram showing some love. I forget their Instagram names right now, so that's very bad of me. I'm going to do better at that. Next time I'm going to write them down. I really need to start writing stuff down. It's easy to remember when you write it down. But thanks, guys. Appreciate the support and all the love. As always, appreciate you listening to the show. So that's the episode of the podcast. As always, guys, you can watch the podcast at Black Geek Cool on YouTube, or you can catch it at Anchor, Spotify, and any other places where podcasts can be found. If you go to Anchor, the website, not the app, you can subscribe or be a sponsor and, financially support the channel or support the podcast by giving $1. If not, that's cool too. You can also support the podcast by just sharing it to other people so everybody can get to listen to the podcast and help the podcast grow. And as always, guys, I appreciate you guys doing that. And you can check me out at Black Geek Cool on Instagram, Black Geek Cool on Twitter, Black Geek Cool on YouTube, and you can reach me at Black Geek Cool Podcast at Gmail. As always, guys, appreciate you listening, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one.